you'll get your.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is ACI 1. We are into chapter 9. Let me see the date. Today is March 7, 2024, class 11, chapter 9. Okay, welcome back. And we will start off. Angela, you hold on. We start off first. Angela, your mom is next to you, right? I can see. Hello. I cannot see her right now, but it's nice to see her. Can we just start with some short meditation to gather our mind here and to set our motivation? Okay, and if you have any questions, if you can, hold on and I will make sure at the end of it, I will allocate some time for that, okay? Okay, thank you. So just get comfortable. Okay, set yourself in a meditative position. If you know, if you don't know, just make sure your spine is straight. Close your eyes. And just watch your breath. Just focus on your breath until you hear from me. Right now, there is nothing more important than your breath. So just watch your breath. Now bring to mind a being who is a manifestation of ultimate love, ultimate compassion, and ultimate wisdom. See them there appearing before you just by way of you thinking of them. They're gazing at you with love, smiling at you with their holy great compassion. Your wisdom radiates from them, a warm glowing glow encompassing you in its light. And we hear them say, bring to mind someone who is hurting in some way. Think about the worldly ways that you have tried, that you might try to help this person. Recognize how those worldly ways fall short. How wonderful it would be if we can also help him in some deep and ultimate way. With that wish, go into an intention and even a determination when you're ready. Now bring your mind back to your holy guide. They know what we need to know, what we need to learn, and what we need to do. And so we ask them, please show me that. We are so happy that we have asked. And of course, they agree. Our gratitude arises, and we want to offer them something exquisite. We think of the perfect world that they teach us to create. Imagine we can hold in our hands and we offer it all to them, following it with our promise to practice what they teach us in the form of the refuge prayer. Here is the great earth, filled with the smell of the incense, covered with a blanket of flowers, the great mountain, 4 lambs, wearing a jewel of the sun and the moon. In my mind, I make them the paradise of the Buddha and offer it all to you. By this deed, make every living being experience the pure Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamyatayam, the refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community, through the merit that I do in giving and the rest, may I reach Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community, through the merit that I do in giving and the rest, may I reach Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community, through the merit that I do in giving and the rest, I will become a Buddha for the sake of all beings. And may it be so. Attention back to the space here. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Today we are going into chapter 9, which is a very, very deep and tough chapter. I need 2 classes. I look at the content, I know I need 2 classes. Okay. If you remember, in our previous class, we learned chapter 8, 7 and 8, right? On bodhicitta, Buddhism, bodhicitta. We learned what is bodhicitta, why we need bodhicitta, and how to develop bodhicitta. We covered that in chapter 7 and 8. Today, we are going to do chapter 9, correct view of emptiness. Do you remember? Correct view of emptiness by now? We have 3 principal paths. That is the 3rd one, right? The 3rd one. Yang Dakpe Tawa. Correct view of emptiness is the mind imbued with emptiness. The mind imbued with emptiness is the antidote to the cycle of life. There's no other way. They say there's no second door. It is the antidote to cut the root of the cyclic life. What do we mean by cyclic life? We learn in chapter 5, samsara, which is what? Born again and again, samsaric condition, right? What is the definition again? Samsara, the condition of being forced by your karma and mental afflictions to take on the impure parts that make up a suffering being over and over again. So we want to get out of samsara. And the antidote is this correct view of emptiness. 解药. I think so. My Mandarin was 6:30 only. Okay, so samsara, we say we want to get out of samsara. But we are samsara. We are samsara. So when we say we want to get out of samsara, we are trying to get out of this dissatisfactory condition that we have taken. This condition that made up of impure parts that are just suffering. So the only way, there's no other second door, only that without this correct view of emptiness, you will never, ever be able to attain freedom. And how can we get this correct view of emptiness? How? Two ways. One, understanding it intellectually in the class through logical reasoning, understanding the pen again and again intellectually. I see it as a pen. The dog see it as a chew toy. So, okay. So we understand emptiness intellectually using logic, clear thinking, and come to the conclusion that things are empty of self-nature. You need to listen 3,000 times or to share with somebody. I think one of the things I wanted to do is to talk about the pen with I need to find a way to talk about that every day. I need to find a chance to talk about that. Another way is through seeing emptiness directly. Perceiving emptiness directly. And that is very, very crucial. According to what we hear from the teaching, from Geshe Michael, from my teacher, we always say perceiving emptiness directly, to see emptiness directly is so powerful because coming out of that, we will discuss that in detail in other ACI courses. Okay, I don't want to swamp you with too much information, but basically you can understand that coming out of the direct perception of emptiness, you no longer believe things are coming at you, things of some nature from their own side. You don't believe that, even though you still see that. I still see that annoying person, but I know that is not true. I see that annoying person from his own side, but I don't believe it, even though I still see it that way. And because of my experience in the direct perception of emptiness, you will be able to, let's say somebody, we use the yelling is the easiest. Somebody yell at you. Obviously, you understand by now then that where does yelling husband come from? Oh, from the seed that I've planted in the past that ripen as, manifests as my reality right now. It's already a tree. I like to think about the tree. If I don't think about the tree, then I want to fight back. Think about the tree. It's already the tree. Already result, then you don't fight already, you know. Sometimes you want to fight, we have a tendency or natural reaction, right? So if we understand it's already a ripened result, if you want to see the terrible person again, what you do is yell back, plant another seed to see the same terrible situation again. But because you see emptiness directly, is so powerful, you will be able to restrain. And as time goes by, you will collect more and more white seeds, more and more white seeds, more and more white seeds. And then the black seed will get lesser and lesser. And whatever you do will be imbued with this correct view of emptiness. And it's very powerful. Does that mean that if I do that, the person will stop yelling at me? No, because I say it's already the tree. You cannot do anything. You cannot push the tree back to the ground. Does that make you feel better? Not immediately. I mean, you might feel better. Definitely, you feel better if you don't yell back. Because if you quarrel with someone, it will disturb your mind. It will definitely ruin your peace of mind for sure. The immediate thing is you won't feel peaceful. So even just a few seconds, you must control a bit, tahan a bit, control even a few seconds, then really cannot, then only you yell, it's okay. Then you will be able to have more and more control, more and more control, and more mindful, then you'll be able to do better and better. And you can try it yourself in your life. I noticed that if you don't yell back, really immediately your life is nicer already. The moment you yell back, it kind of like disturb your mind. Yeah, you keep on thinking about that. You keep on, then at night you cannot sleep. Then the more you think, the more you want to fight. Yeah, it's not that all the time, but you can try it out. Like you will be able to realize that, yeah, maybe out of 10 times, you can only do 2 times. It's better than nothing, right? You can do 1 time, it's okay. Then slowly you can do 3 times, and you can do 4 times. Yeah. Okay. So that is the thing that tells us why having the correct view of emptiness is so important. We learn the 3 principal path. Even if you have renunciation, even if you have bodhicitta, not enough. Not enough. Show you this picture. If you remember in chapter 2, we learned method and wisdom, which are the 2 wings of the bird. I really like the 2 wings of the bird. Yeah, the 2 wings of the bird. Chapter 2, we say we want to reach our highest goal. There are 2 wings of the bird. Only one wing can or not? Cannot fly. The other wing cannot? Cannot. You need both wings. Broken wings, you cannot reach your highest goal, whether it's your worldly goal or your highest spiritual goal. Okay, and I like this statement. Okay, wait. Method. What is method? We say renunciation and bodhicitta part under method. Correct view of emptiness is part under wisdom. So they say, yeah, why this statement like that? No? Okay. Method, at the balik, this method, it means if you do renunciation or if you do bodhicitta, method not steeped in wisdom is bondage. They bond you in samsara. You cannot be free. Method steeped in wisdom is freedom. If you do your renunciation or your bodhicitta with the understanding of emptiness, and that free you from samsara, and that is bring you to the state of freedom. That will bring you to nirvana, nibbana. Similarly, for wisdom, wisdom not steeped in method is bondage. Means that you just study correct view of emptiness, but you never go and help people. Is bondage. It keep you in samsara. Wisdom steeped in method is freedom. You do correct view of emptiness, and you also go and help people with the understanding of emptiness. That bring you to a state of freedom. Okay, just this one we learned in chapter 2, but it's related to what we are learning right now. So wisdom, though, is not enough by itself either. So we cannot say renunciation is not enough. Correct view of We cannot say renunciation not enough, bodhicitta not enough. Even correct view of emptiness is also not enough, right? It is also not enough. You need the three principle have. I want to share a story. I was doing a teacher assistant training because I'm the coordinator for that. And then a student was asking, she was a bit, she said, I learned 4 steps. Then the teacher told me 4 steps is very important. Now you're telling me emptiness is important. And I learned somewhere gratefulness is important. And then you say bodhicitta is important. Which one is the most important when I do the 4 steps? So, so I say that as actually a group coordinator for the teacher assistant training, my job is just to coordinate, not to teach. But since she get, I just share I just tell her the difference lah, because I feel that she kind of like get very confused, 4 steps plus, we call it 4 steps plus. I tell her, like iPhone plus. You do the 4 steps with the understanding of emptiness, become 4 steps plus. Then where does bodhicitta come about? I say, when you do something, imagine, we learned earlier on in chapter 7, we say, if you want to reach your highest goal, you want to achieve your highest goal, very, very big goal, what you do must be big enough. And what is big enough? Is the love. Is this love for the all beings. I mean, logically, we understand logically, correct? It makes sense that way, yeah. So if you are doing something with this love, with the understanding of emptiness, whatever you do is so powerful. It's not one or the other. It is a state of mind. It is a state of mind imbued with this love. And then you're doing it with the understanding of emptiness. So it's not one first or the other one is like, it's your state of mind. Okay, there's this thing I like to share, this one. We say renunciation and bodhicitta, deep single-pointed meditation, not enough. Alone by themselves are not enough. I try to give some example why not enough. Okay, and I think of this, okay, bodhicitta. We say, oh, it's a Buddhist, oh, I want to turn for, I want to become a Buddha for the sake of all beings, But if you don't have the understanding of emptiness, you do a lot of good thing, do good thing, then people step on your toe. Then people not grateful. Then you cry not because you don't understand emptiness. Because we say the good, the bad cannot come from the good. The bad cannot come from the good cannot come from the bad. And there is a time gap. I like one story my friend was telling me. I'm very glad that I got someone I can run to when I'm not happy. She's actually a student here. So that's why I say, when you see the emptiness, there's no difference like teacher, student, Yeah, we don't have that kind of distinction. I run to her, she's a student here. But she didn't attend, she normally listen to the recording. So she always tell me, when I got approached, she's very wise, which give me some example to knock my senses, Then I want to relate the example she give. The real life example, one of the members, wow, they learn Dharma very well, Buddhism, help people, every month donate money, got help one family, every month got give the money on the first every month, first of March, 1st of April, every month, help the poor family. Then one day he or she, I don't know, the friend was very busy, a bit late lah on the, I think 3rd, something like that. Then the person went to the shop and said, hey, you're so terrible. How can you like that? Today already somehow like 3rd, you haven't give money, And I scold the person. I say, then you are like, wow, you want to like collapse. If you don't understand emptiness, you'll be really pissed off, You do good things, you're so kind, you're a good person, but that person who is being unreasonable is not coming from what you're doing right now, this moment that you're helping, doing good things. It's a different seed ripening. So we say light make light, right? The bad cannot come from the good. And because we understand that, we know our next reaction, right? Also, we want to have to do good because the good one will bring back pleasant result. The bad one will bring unpleasant result. And that guide our behavior, how we should respond. How should we respond? When that thing come back, how would you feel? And that you can use it as a guidance on how to respond. Then so bodhicitta alone is not enough. That's why they say three principal path. And then there's this example that they quote in the reading is this one. Somebody who is in the renunciation and go into the deep single-pointed meditation. Not enough. Why? The moment the person came out from his extended period of meditation, he went into a rage, angry, because the mice chew away his impressive lock of hair, his hair lah. So because of that anger, because he doesn't understand emptiness, so he was so pissed off and he flew into a rage, right? Oh yeah, and I got another example again. I recommended a friend of mine to help in a temple long time ago. I think already got 10 years. No, not 10 years, maybe 10 years. So she's very free at home. So she wanted to do some work, lesser pay, never mind, just some relaxed thing, just get some money and help the temple. I said, oh, so happen, I always go and help in the temple and they want to employ somebody. So I connect them. So she worked in the temple. And what happened is, I don't know how many, sometime later on, then she was really angry. Then she resigned already. Then she said, those people in the temple, she said, Amitofo, like that, and then the action, she was showing me, I said, oh, that is the thing, you see. We cannot use to judge people, but it is true. If we don't understand emptiness, that's how we are going to respond, Amitofo, and then they got a lot of unhappiness inside, like a lot of like doing something intentionally to, make things difficult for another person. So if we don't understand emptiness, our natural reaction is that what we like, what we don't like, right? So that is the thing. So that shows us how important correct view of emptiness. Now, by now we say, oh, okay, I want to hear that. So we go into the three principal path, verse number 9. Can I get somebody to read this, to plant seeds? Who want to read this? Just unmute.
Can I read?
Can, thank you.
You may master renunciation and the wish, but unless you have the wisdom perceiving reality, you cannot cut the root of cyclic life. Make efforts in ways then to perceive interdependence.
Thank you, Angela. This is the first line we say, you may master renunciation and the wish. The one that we say, if you have renunciation, if you have the wish, not enough. Unless you have the wisdom perceiving reality. What is that? Correct view of emptiness. You cannot cut the root of cyclic life, samsara. You cannot cut this samsara. Okay, so they ask us, make efforts in ways then to perceive interdependence. When I'm reading that, I think you are talking about correct view of emptiness. You're talking about emptiness. And here you ask me to make efforts to perceive interdependence. I thought I should make effort to perceive emptiness. Why make effort to perceive interdependence? Interdependence is the dependent origination, the long word. I'm not sure whether is it called 缘起 in Chinese. Is it 缘起? I know someone very good in Chinese. Tracy? Tracy is very good in Chinese. Tracy, 对不? 缘起.
原始
啊，
原始哈
原始哈，
原始
原始啊，dependent origination。你做这个就有这个后果，你做这样就有这样的后果，是原始
原
啊，
始
原始，不是缘起呀、有这个字吗？
有
有这个字，OK，那么
好像是缘起对。
OK，好，Thank you，Thank you。Okay, so we want to see why they ask us to go and perceive interdependence。叫我们探讨这个缘起 interdependence instead of emptiness. I thought we are studying emptiness now. Okay, so the reason is, oh, did I share? I didn't share. Oh, yeah, forget to share. Okay, so I think about that, and finally I found the answer here. Okay, they say the reason is they want to prevent students from swinging to the opposite extreme where they believe that if all things are empty, they can have no existence at all. First, 探讨第一个啊 why they want us to see the interdependence, okay, is because if we just study emptiness, we start out with emptiness. Things are empty, okay, things are, there's emptiness, and people tend to, we call it fall into the cliff. There are two sides of one of the cliff. If to think that in that case, 一切都无的, there's nothing there. Everything is just illusion. 一切都是不存在的. That I can do everything I want. People have a tendency to fall into that cliff. That's very dangerous. Without proper explanation. If you go and read the Heart Sutra yourself, no eye, no ear, no what lah, then you really think that everything no. Really no? Come, I do this one and poke on you, see God or not. So when they say no, doesn't mean that there's nothing at all. There is no self-existent thing. There's no self-existent thing means that there's nothing that comes from their own side, independent of you, independent of your karma. Okay, there's nothing that can stand alone, independent there, self-standing on its own. Doesn't mean that there is nothing at all. Okay. So we study interdependence first for that first reason, so that we don't fall to the opposite extreme. And the second reason is to get a correct understanding of interdependence. Secondly, a correct understanding of interdependence lead one to the way of perceiving emptiness. Means that they help us to understand emptiness. Through interdependence, we can understand emptiness. How? Okay, so that's why we go into it. Okay, I go back to number 2. I want to explain properly. I think I didn't explain correctly, not to say correctly, not clear enough. We are going to study interdependence first because they will help us to understand emptiness. Because if we can see that things are interdependent, therefore, they lack any natural existence. They don't have any natural existence. Natural existence means that 它有它自己的本质. It's in it from it. Okay? So we go into the schools, the different schools now. Okay, okay, so I lead you to the school, different school to understand what is interdependence. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Interdependence, or we call it dependent origination. I don't know whether I pronounced correctly, not tendril. This is in your question 2. In this interdependence topic, we will look at the different schools of Buddhism. How they describe interdependence, how they describe cause and effect. Okay, now, these schools, they are the ancient, during those days, in Buddhist, Indian schools, Indian Buddhism. How did I put the words? Not the Tibetan schools. This is originally in India, Buddhism have these schools. And we break them into three main schools: functionalist school, independent school, and implication school. In functionalist school, you have three, 1, 2, 3. In functionalist school, you have 1, 2, and 3. The first two is called Hinayana school, 小乘. Okay, and they are Abhidhamma, knowledge, higher knowledge, hard knowledge school. Number 2 is Sautrantika, nothing to do with, Sautrantika, or called Sutra school. It's called logic school also. And then the third one is called Mahayana, or Chittamatra, or Yogacara, my only school. When you hear like that, when I first learn, why got so many new ones? Okay. So catch the one that easy to you. Like for me, I quickly memorize. I close my eyes, I remember. Okay, functionalists here got Hinayana, got 2, Mahayana got 1. Hinayana got Abhidhamma, and then the Sutri school, or we call it logic school. The third one, we call it the mind only school. Yeah, for me, that's how I remember. I don't remember Chittamatra. I don't remember Yogacara, to be very honest with you. Okay, so get an overall view first. And then the next one is independent school. They are school number 4.5. The first half of the 4th school, middle way, Madhyamika. Okay, it's called the lower middle way. The first half, lower middle way. Swatantrika, nothing to do with Tantra. Swatantrika, independent school. Or there's another name for this, is the 50-50 school. And then the last school is called implication school, or the higher middle way, or the Prasangika Madhyamika. It's also called the consequence school. Okay. So we want to hear their explanation on 缘起, dependent origination, how things are interdependent. This is very, very interesting. And this one must learn properly, you know why not? Very important. Whatever you learn here will be discussed further in other ACI courses. You need to know this as a foundation, just the foundation. No need to go too detailed. We will cover in greater detail in other ACI courses. So for the functionalist school, they say things are interdependent. Things are interdependent. Why? Because they have come about through causes and conditions. They say things are interdependent. Why? Because they come from prior causes. Things are interdependent. Why? Because they depend on causes and conditions. That is a positive way to explain cause and effect. Okay, now, positive way to explain cause and effect in the functionalist school. And a negative way to explain it? Negative way to explain cause and effect. Negative way of expression will be to say that things don't come from nothing. Things don't come by itself. And this is a functionalist school. For the functionalist school, they say, if things function, or the aircon can function, the lights can function, these and things function. If things function, if it does something, it truly exists. It truly exists. So when I hear about all these concepts, these ideas, and I try to apply I say, okay, I memorize, okay, then I apply. How do I explain that for, let's say, what is that one called? Is it called a ceramic pot? What is that one called? This one, things are interdependent because they have causes. They come about from causes and condition. Wait, I check the English word. Later only I understand nobody. Oh, yeah, ceramic is correct. Okay, ceramic, C-E-R-A-M-I-C. So let's look at an example on a thing, 一个东西, yeah. So we apply, we say. So we look at the ceramic. They have causes. They come from prior causes. What are the prior causes for the ceramic? What is the material cause for that? Come from the clay, come from the water, come from the heat, right now. Come from all these things, the prior causes. Then you can give those causes, right? Then say, okay, understand that. Instead, we say the ceramic come from there's a ceramic out there on its own, independent, self-standing. We tend to grasp to that. Yeah. But of course, you say, yeah, I know, ceramic got causes, I know, I know. Right? Okay. Then you say, okay, yelling boss. Yelling boss. There are prior causes to that. What are the prior causes? They come from causes and condition. The yelling boss doesn't yell from nothing. Doesn't yell from his side. He's not a yelling boss every day, every now, from day one when he's a baby. No, he's not a yelling boss from day one. But he's yelling at me, like, correct or not? Why? What happened? So we said there are causes and conditions. He cannot be suddenly scold you one what. They're sure got causes and conditions. Say, yeah, what are the causes and conditions? Then you say, maybe you're late lah. Okay. I say, no, I'm late. No, I'm not late. Maybe you didn't hit the target lah. No, I hit the target leh. Maybe don't like my face lah. Okay, the boss don't like my face lah. So there are causes and conditions. Okay. So that is the school where it's easy for us to relate. Okay, there's a school that brings us up on the interdependence for us to see the empty nature of things. Slowly bring us up. Okay, so that is the first school. I tell you what, if you're first time learning, if you're confused, no worries. Keep on learning. Just write the answer. Just copy only. Okay. Because I also confused when I was learning that time. I don't know what they're talking about. What kind of things is it? It takes years. Yeah. And coming back again. And then come back again. And then revisit again. Only to finally understand what they are trying to say and to apply in your life. Understanding is one thing. Then applying in your life is another thing. And then something you think you understand, then you get confused again. It is a process. Okay, it is a process. So don't worry too much about that. But I just want to give you the facts, the accurate information for you to cook. Okay, that is functionalist school, okay?
Teacher Rach.
Yes.
Yes, I have a question. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Can you bring to the previous slide?
This one,
Yes. You see, it says that the lower three schools, right, is functionalist. Is this three schools? Is it the Hinayana 2 plus the Mahayana 1? Is it referring
Yes.
to these three?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not the functionalist, independence, and implications. It's not that lah, right? It's
No.
only mentions about the functionalist. These
Yeah.
three. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So look at the next one is independent school. Independent school says that, hey, what's up? What about things that don't have causes and conditions? You mean they don't exist, man? Sorry, I got a lot of slang. That's why ACI asked me. I said, I got slang one, I like to talk the way I talk. I can take up the slang, but I just feel that it sounds good. Okay, so they say So what about things that don't, unchanging things like space, unchanging things like emptiness, that don't have causes? So you mean they don't exist, ah? Oh, so they say, okay, so the explanation for the first one, just now the functionalist school, they did not address this part. And so the second school, we call it the independent school, address that. They address that now. They are more sophisticated, more comprehensive. They say everything changing or unchanging depends on their parts. Okay. They say things are interdependence, because all objects depend on their parts. All objects depend on their parts. And that is a positive expression of interdependence. Negative expressions, things cannot exist without depending on its parts. Things cannot exist without depending on its part. So this independent school is more comprehensive, lah, right? They cover also unchanging things. Okay. Then you ask yourself maybe, hey, space got parts, man. Okay, space, the empty space got parts. Okay, if you look at the space, you take your compass, take your compass, they will find the direction. They will always tell you where is the north. Wherever you go, you can change, isn't it? North is the part, south part, east part, west part, north, south, east, west. They are the parts. Then what about emptiness? Okay, the emptiness, okay? Emptiness of the phone, they have parts. The emptiness of the phone, okay, consists of the emptiness of the screen, the emptiness of the back, the emptiness of top, the emptiness of the bottom, whatever, you can just name the thing. So they consist of the emptiness of all things. Emptiness is very interesting. When this thing is here, the emptiness is here. When the thing is not here, the emptiness is gone. Emptiness is either 100% is there or zero. You don't have 90% emptiness, 80% emptiness, 70% emptiness. You don't have that. When I'm here, I got the emptiness of Rachel. When I'm no more here, Rachel is gone. The emptiness, there's no emptiness, no? No emptiness of Rachel, because the Rachel is no more here. Yeah. So they cover, they are more sophisticated. They include unchanging things. Okay. Actually, the 50-50 school is very, very interesting, but I noticed that the notes and the reading, they didn't cover very detailed on that. So I think it will be discussed in other ACI courses. Yeah, the 50-50 school, very, very interesting. Just 50 from you, 50 from me. Then only you can establish existence. But in here, they didn't mention like that, lah. So I think we just stay with this one first for us to be able to understand better, to slowly understand deeper and deeper. Okay, again, independent school, they say whether changing or unchanging things, they depend on their parts. Things are interdependence because they depend on their parts. Things exist in dependence on their parts. Things cannot exist without depending on its parts. Yeah. Technique is like, okay. Actually, the 50-50 is very easy to understand in another way. 50% come from the thing. Okay, 50% come from the thing. And then another 50% come from me. To establish the existence 50-50. The part that come from the thing and the part that come from me. Let's say if I see an angry boss, let's use the example again. Okay, 50% come from the boss. Yeah, okay, right. We can see the this one, but 50% only when I perceive him that way. Correct or not? I can, instead of getting angry, I can look at it in a different way because the 50% come from me. Actually, the 50-50 is extremely useful when in a very difficult situation. Then we'll say, situation is like that, we cannot do anything. But we can change our mindset of looking at it, correct or not? We can take it as a challenge and it make you better. In fact, this bad thing happened, is good for you. Now you are free. Yeah. So you look at it in a different, because 50 come from you. Okay. So I'm just giving additional information on that. Oh, just now the reading is by Jenny Lee. Ayo, how come? Sorry. I thought it's Angela leh. 对不起, sorry. Jenny, thanks a lot. Tone deaf. Buddhist speaker. Okay, thank you. Okay, so come back to independent school. If you think it's a bit confusing for you, you stay with the first explanation. Okay, the first one, what is that again? The first one, they have causes and condition. Okay, na, Jackney? Okay, na? Causes and condition. Then the second one, why? Because they got parts. And they also include the unchanging things. Because unchanging things got no causes, right? No causes. So no causes doesn't mean that they don't exist. Okay, so if you look at it that way, it helps you. We start out with step one, baby step. Then we go to the higher. But then this independent school, even though it's better explanation, more sophisticated explanation, but it failed to cover the ultimate meaning of interdependence. What does that mean? So we go to the higher school, implication school, or we call it the consequence school. Okay, I take this word from the notes, Ming de Tak Sam. Ming de Tak Sam. I don't know whether I pronounce correctly or not. Ming means name, with a name, the and a thought. Tak is labor, Sam is just. Means got something to do with name and a thought. Labor, just labor with a name and a thought. You know, I realize that in Tibetan, you read the balik one. You read from the last to the front. Not from, we normally read from left to right, isn't it? But in Tibetan, they read from right to left, like the Chinese. So this one you can say just labor with a name and a thought. Okay, so this school, they say, things exist depending on you calling and thinking of them. Things are interdependent in the sense that they are the result of our projecting onto a basis of our projection. This one must read many times. Things are interdependent in the sense that they are a result of our projecting onto a basis of our projection. So you can see, later I show you the picture. So that is a positive way of expression. The negative way of expression, things don't exist outside your mind. things don't exist outside of the way you think and calling them. Is it true? We will look at the example later. Let's look at this one. I put this one here. Every object is a product of labeling. It's something given a name and somebody giving it a name. There is this your state of mind, your perception, state of mind that give a reasonable idea on the basis. There are some basis here, reasonable basis to be given a name. This one have to explain a little bit more. Okay, I want to give the example. We want to apply this in this example. Got one example. Okay, so just now I said here they say every object is a product of labeling, something given a name and somebody giving it a name, right? So yourself, the state of mind, perceiving it, giving the name, and there's a reasonable basis for you to give the name. There's an example in the reading that says the chanting master. I love that example. The chanting master. I can relate that to my own example. So they say like, let's say all of you here, they are in the monastery. Then one day the abbot, let's say the abbot is Raymond. Then Raymond says, okay, now just find one person, say Ngok is the chanting master. And then from that day onwards, suddenly Ngok is a chanting master. Was she a chanting master from day one? No. But from that day, after Raymond give her a name, give her this, you are the chanting master. From that day onwards, people say, there you go, the chanting master. People see her say, there, the chanting master. So we apply back what we learned just now, what we say, there's some reasonable basis, and then the state of mind, they give it a name. So once given a name, this is how she become the chanting master. I like to apply like myself, I was not an independent director last time. Then suddenly one day my good seeds ripened and boom, somebody just called me independent director when I have never ever become one and I never ever been trained to become one. And from that day onwards, everybody addressed me and said, there come the independent director. Then people give me like a VIP service. It's a name, it's a product of labeling. You think about that. Sometimes when we are not happy with somebody, so you will say, okay, before I go another example, you might be asking me, okay, so are you saying that, so this is just a product of labeling? That I can just label it any way I want? No. Remember, we say there must be some reasonable basis. Some reasonable basis. That God has some basis, like, oh, she's very outstanding. She got this certificate. Her attendance is very good. Her discipline is very good. Her behavior is very good. Things like that. And then, ding, Raymond say that you are the chanting master. It's not that you can just say that, okay, let's say that this is a gold bar. Cannot. There's no reasonable basis. How can this one be a gold bar? There must be some reasonable basis, and then your state of mind label it that way. You can try to think about your own example in your life. Try to apply, think about that. I always struggle a lot with this. And we can use another example is the pen that Geshe Michael always talk about. I read to you here in the notes that says that the implication school says that things exist for you in dependence on your calling them and thinking of them as you do. When you're focused upon your perception of something, You are seeing the color, the size, the shape, the parts. You're not seeing the pen. You see the parts and then you label it pen based upon your perception. You can't see the penness, the whole pen entirety, as long as you see the parts. But when you see the parts, you are not seeing the entire pen, the penness. You cannot see both simultaneously. Just like when we say, when we see the pen, right, we see the color, the shape, then we put together, we say this is a pen. We see the angry boss, we see the color of the face, the shape, the color of the shape, the tone, the sound. And we say, that person is angry at me. That person is cursing me. The person is being very harsh. Then we label it that way. We label it that way. You say it's a harsh person. It's a very rude boy. It's a rude person. There must be some reasonable basis also. And the higher school, even the basis itself is also our projection. The basis itself is also our projection. I had a hard time cooking on that until I feel that, oh, this is my own personal way of looking at it. I am in samsara. The way I'm looking at things is wrong, it's just broken. Yeah. So it's difficult for me to really see beyond that, but to keep on thinking about it logically and peel it off. So those are the three schools. There's another very interesting example in the reading also. This one happened to me. This one happened to me at night one day. Okay, and then you see something like that at night. I cannot find a night picture with this image, you know. I was looking that I cannot find it. I get pissed. I mean, I get a bit no time. I just put any picture lah. It's the hose, you know, the hose, the 水龙, the rubber hose where you wash your car. So at night, if it is on the garden, right, you walk by, then you might accidentally say, oh my God, snake. You know, you thought it's a snake, right? You forget, and then you forget that you are the one who put the name on it, and it start to look like a snake up there on its own. The way that it looks just looks like a snake because of you put the label to it. Here, what they want to say is that what we are trying to deny is what we grasp, that the thing we hold would really exist the way it looks to us to exist. It's very difficult to explain this. Okay. There was one time at night, really, I was like, I passed by my garden, then I stepped on something, and from afar, you know, that I was looking, oh my gosh, it's a snake. I thought it's a snake, you know. There's a snake, you know. I was like, I really believe it's a snake, and it looks like a snake to me already because of how I label it. But when they go and check, oh, it's not a snake, it's just the water hose. What we are trying to deny is how the thing appeared to us, but we are trying to deny, to say no to how we grasp to the thing, how we grasp to the thing that can appear from its own side. Okay, those are the three schools that come out in your question 2. Question 2, not that difficult. Let me read to you. Explain what interdependence mean in each of the three Buddhist schools mentioned below. Let me read to you. A, what is the first school? Functionalist school, right? Functionalist school. They got 3 there. Functionalist school inside got Abhidhamma, got Sutri school, got the mind only school. What they say? They say things are interdependent in the sense that changing things depend on their causes and conditions. But the explanation failed to cover unchanging things like empty space or emptiness. So the answer is easy, isn't it? It's even easier to answer. Yeah. So you should be able to do it easily. And then the independent school, things are interdependent in the sense that all objects, changing or unchanging, depend on their parts. More comprehensive explanation, but fail to explain the ultimate meaning of interdependence. And the last one, implication group, things are interdependent in the sense that they are a result of our projecting, our projecting onto a basis of our projection. Why don't they just say on a basis? Why must they say onto a basis of our projection? Because the basis also coming from our projection. Remember, I said the raw data also coming from us. It is a result of our projection, a result of our projecting onto a basis of our projection. Okay. And this is the ultimate meaning of interdependence. So we've finished interdependent 缘起, that cause and effect according to the different schools. Okay, I want to read this one, verse number 10, before I test you a little bit. Verse number 10. I want somebody, Jenny, to read for me this. Thank you, Jenny.
Okay. What is correct view? A person's entered the path that pleases the Buddhas. When for all objects in the cycle or beyond, he sees that cause and effect can never fail, and when for him they lose all solid appearance.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
So we cover dependent, interdependence, 缘起 interdependent cause and effect. So they say a person has entered the path that please the Buddhas. Do we enter that path or not? We ask ourselves, when for all objects in the cycle or beyond, everything, he sees that cause and effect can never fail. We can see the interdependence, the cause and effect. Everything we see, we can see the cause and effect. And when for him, they lose all solid appearance. What do we mean by solid appearance? The thing that we think they got something in it and from it. Yeah. We always think that there's something inside, something solid inside the appearance from itself, in itself. But now we can see that, actually they got the cause and effect. According to the different schools, they have a different meaning in terms of interdependence. And because things are interdependent, things cannot exist from their own side, right? Because things are interdependent, things cannot exist naturally, 原本就是这样, in itself and from itself. And because things are interdependent, things cannot exist truly. Truly is the word for from its own side. I want to read one statement. We do not deny how things appear to stand on their own. We only deny the thing could actually stand on its own, that they could actually exist naturally. When we see that the thing doesn't exist in that way at all, and what is that left is simple emptiness. In a way, in a simple language would be when you see the cause and effect, things are interdependent, we start to understand, it's true also. Things cannot exist from their own side. You start to understand emptiness more. It helps you to understand emptiness. Okay, I want to test you already. Ta-da! Quick one. We say the 3 schools, right? Okay. School number 1. What are their what they say? What do they say? What is the important thing that they say? Or maybe I tell you what they say, you tell me which school might be easier for you. Okay, so if I say the things don't exist without me naming and thinking of them. Things don't exist without me naming and thinking about that. Which school is that? Things exist in dependence on me thinking and naming them. Which one is that?
Implication.
Yay, implication, the third one. Okay. Now, things cannot exist from nothing, cannot stand alone. They have causes and conditions. They don't come from nothing. Which school is that?
Functionalist.
Yay, the first school. Okay. And the school that says things cannot exist without depending on their parts.
Independent.
Independent, yeah, yay. Okay, so those are the three schools, the explanation in terms of cause and effect, in terms of interdependence, to help us to understand emptiness. Yeah. So from there we can see, yeah, if things have to, yeah, then they cannot exist naturally. Yeah, it makes sense. Then I can understand. Okay, it's true. If things, they have to depend on other things, right? Then they cannot exist on their own. They cannot have a solid appearance from their own side. Yeah, they cannot exist naturally. But doesn't mean that there's nothing at all. So we want to move to a new topic. I think I can finish that before I stop for time for Angela to ask a question. I want to talk about dark self. So you can do question 2 only. For chapter 9, you can only do question 2 and question 3. Dark is self. Okay, so when we say self here, we refer to any nature or state objects would have in which they rely on nothing else. The non-existent of this is what we call no self. In Buddhism, there's this term called no self. So that, yeah, when we say this is self, in Buddhism, we say no self. Is it really no self? There is no self. No self, then who is this person here? There is
We
no
are empty
self.
also. We're empty
Huh?
also. We're
Yeah,
empty.
you're empty, correct. Yeah. So the self that they deny is a non-existent self. It's not that there's no self at all. Again, the self that they deny is a non-existent self. What is a non-existent self? Means that a self-existent thing, the thing that come from their own side, things with self-nature on their own, that don't have to rely on anything. That one that one doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. Okay, so this duck is a self-existent thing. Self-existent thing. Okay, so this one also come out in your question 3. Come out in your question 3. Let me see your question 3. So we managed to do question 2 and question 3 in chapter 9. Let me check again. Yeah, okay, correct. There is a question 3 on that. Let me share the screen on that. They say, Buddhism teach that no self exists. Give a description of this non-existent self or self-nature according to Master Chandrakirti. So when we say no self, this on the dark, a self sure exists. That's why I say, who is this person here? Who is Jocelyn? Who is Jackney? Yeah, there's a self. Of course, there is a self, but not the self that come from his own side. Not the one, Jasny, that come from own side. Not the Jackney that come from her own side through some nature on her own, independent of my projection. Independent from my projection. Where my projection come from? From my past karma. Okay, let me see. That is a duck. Let's see the duck for different school. What is the duck for different school? The duck is like a gacha, you know. We want to learn this one, gacha, different school. I finish this thing, then I can stop. Okay, what is gacha? Yes, gacha. Gacha is a very important Tibetan word, gacha. That means a self-existent thing. A self-existent thing that doesn't exist. That I put a cross here. That doesn't exist. For the functionist school, they say things exist. How things exist? They depend on their causes and conditions. So the gacha, the one that doesn't exist, will be the self with no causes. The thing with no causes is a gacha. Angela come about with no causes. The angry boss that come with no causes is a gacha. Okay? Gacha. Then independent school, the second school, that say they have parts one. So they say things exist in dependence upon their parts, right? So the gacha will be the thing that can exist without parts. That cannot be true. Like the angry boss and this are 50-50. Okay, without my part, he is not an angry boss from his own side. And the last one, implication school, what they say about existence. Things exist in dependence upon me calling and thinking of them. Things exist in dependence of me labeling them. I think about them, I call them in that way. Okay, so the gacha will be a self-existing things without me naming and thinking about the person. A self-existent thing is a thing without me naming and thinking about it. But why do I think about it that way? Why? Why do I think about it that way? They say that we have it comes from our mental tendency. Mental tendency for us to fill in the blanks in that way. Why would we say the person is like that, isn't it? There's a mental tendency for us that come from us to label it that we chocolate sauce it that way. And come from where? Come from what we have done in the past. Okay, we learned so much already. We want to know how can it help me? How can it help me, right? So I look at this one. Where is my slide? Yeah, how can this help me? When I'm in a difficult situation, I use a yelling boss when I'm in a difficult situation. Each time when I have mental affliction, the mental affliction can only come about because I focus on a non-existent thing. When I have an attack of mental affliction, it is because I'm focusing on a non-existent thing. We cannot have mental affliction unless we mistaken that the thing exists out there doing this to me, wanting to hurt me, rather than from my past karma. Why? Why you cannot have mental affliction if you recognize that? Because the moment you realize that I have done something like that, I like to use the yelling boss one, easier to understand. If the moment I understand, I've done that in the past, and that's why I'm seeing this situation, that ugliness, that anger that I see has come from what I've done in the past. It's not already the tree. So the beginning and the last one I bring back to the same. From beginning I mentioned why we are learning this. So it will be crazy for us to be angry again, unless we want to plant another seed to see this situation again. It is not easy when we are in a difficult situation. Yeah, it's not easy. It's easy when the thing is not too ugly. You can start out with small thing that you can handle, you try to apply. But when things are too much, it is difficult for us to see it that way. Then you need to use the 6 flavor emptiness, the different school to help us. Then we go to the lower school. And the lower school will be very helpful, to be very honest. I'm not in the high, I always thought that we are in the higher school until when you have an attack, then we will realize that we need to rely on the lower school, the 6 flavor emptiness, the different flavor emptiness. I actually applied that recently. I got some problem. Then I apply the 6 flavor emptiness, I apply the school, and it does help me to get out of it easier. I don't want to talk in detail on that because I want to leave you thinking about that on your own. At a later stage, we can always come back and talk about that. You will see that it's very interesting how the school actually bring us up, and at different point in time, we need to come down. Yeah, and it really helped us. They are not anything like lower, not good. It's not like that. It really helped us to bring us up, especially when we are in a difficult situation. When we recognize that we have put the seed there and it already ripened in this way, we recognize that, and we know that we don't want to see the same situation again. We don't want to put the same seed in our pocket anymore. So we have to restrain, even for a few seconds. It's not like totally can become, I'm okay, but slowly, you'll become better and better. Yeah. Because that seeds will gone, it will be gone. As long as don't put another one inside, it will be gone moment by moment by moment. Things shift. You don't put in another one, don't put in another one, don't put in another one, and make things worse. Doesn't mean that now you will say, okay, I practice, then the person will stop yelling at you. No, the thing is there, but it will finish. The seeds will finish. Doesn't mean that now you understand, then I will be able to feel that, oh, I'm okay. Now I understand. I won't feel hurt. I feel hurt, but I know where it's coming. And I just need to control myself, and I need to understand what I want in the future. What should I do? What should I do? And that is my guiding my behavior. What should I do? What I want to see in the future. And they say if you understand emptiness well enough, clearly, you will be moral. You will keep your morality. It means I said the guiding your behavior. You will keep your morality. And then because you are keeping your morality, what is going to happen is your life is going to get better and better, better and better. Okay? Even if you see emptiness direct, it's not like tomorrow is like nirvana. It's not like that. They say like, yeah, maybe 7 lifetimes, 14 lifetimes to go. Yeah. They still have to go through something, but they won't react badly. And I want to end it with a quotation from Lord Buddha. Wealth comes from giving, bliss comes from morality. So how important it is for us to keep our morality and to hold back. It's not easy, okay? And I had a difficult situation recently also. Okay, I'll leave it here and continue with part 2 next week. Let's do a dedication before we move to the Q&A. Okay, let's do a quick one. Be very, very happy with what you have done, the time you spent here trying to learn and understand. and apply in your life. You are super awesome. And your holy guide is so happy with you. They're smiling at you. They're so proud of you. Offer them this gemstone of goodness, what we have done today. They are so happy and they accept it. Bless it. And put it back into your heart. It feels so good there. That we want to share with everyone because we want to keep it, so we share it. By the power of the goodness that we have just done, may every living being experience the pure world. May every living being complete the collection of merit and wisdom and gain the two ultimate bodies that merit and wisdom make. And send the first exhale to the person you want to help at the beginning of the class. Second exhale to everyone you love. And the third exhale to everyone you have seen, everyone who have seen you in every corner of the universe. Maybe just open your eyes and bring them to the space here. Okay, thank you. We are done. And any question, feel free to ask. If you want to go, you may. Yes.
Thank you, Teacher Rachel. So, Teacher Rachel, I got a few questions, accumulation one. Just now you say that is a projection. We can is a projection of ourselves, lah. The thing we are the projection of ourselves, lah. Correct, not that. Correct, not.
The self here refer to anything, any person, anything that we think have some self nature. The self here referring to the self nature. It's not like myself. It can be me. Okay, it can be a Raymond. It can be a pen. It can be anything in the universe that we hold on to the thing having some self nature.
Oh, so it's we project out, lah.
The three schools, they have an explanation on their dark, what is called self nature. The first one will say the things that exist without causes and condition, that kind of self, that kind of thing that can come on their own without cause and condition, is a dark for the first school. Yeah, so depending on different school, their dark explanation is a little bit different. They all come to the same, they all say that, yeah, it's a self-existent thing. But what do they understand by self-existent thing? The first school would be the thing that come without cause and condition one is a dark. The second one, the thing that can come upon without depending upon their parts is a dark. The third one, the thing that can come without me naming and thinking about them is a dark.
I thought the second one is 50-50.
Yeah, it is also called 50-50, the parts here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this one very chim, very
Yeah, very
confused, a bit
chim.
confused. A bit confused. Okay, then
Yeah.
second question is that my mother got stroke. All this is a samsara, lah. Samsara, is it due to her karma the result that she got stroke? All this, is it?
We all can say that everything is from our past deeds, our karma. But in her situation, I think what she needs most will be more compassion and love, and to help her. And like, for example, they help someone, put them, to do some good deeds together, like 一起放生 things like that. We can do life liberation together. Rather than if we are telling her that this is from our past karma. Yeah, because I feel, for me, I feel that we all have been, if I'm throwing the question, if it is true, we have been here since beginningness of time. Imagine what we have accumulated.
Yeah,
I think
lor.
all the same.
Yeah, sure kena one, sure kena some karma.
So which one ripen only? Which one ripen? And we just don't let it don't trigger it, don't let it ripen. Don't trigger it, like say cause and condition.
But now she got stroke dementia, she can't do function. I do for her, okay, right? I do for her lah. I use her money to do for her lah.
Yeah, this also another way. Yeah, it'll be very meaningful.
It's her money do for her, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Then one last thing is because actually I feel that every night I'm reading the text, the text is so much until I got no time to do the homework because I prefer reading the text so that I get more understanding. Then I just only 3 questions. Of course I can do homework. I just based on 3 questions, I extract out and do it. That'll be faster. But by reading the PDF, I find it took me a lot of time until I got no time to do the homework. So when must we submit the homework?
Are you using the learning platform or not? Or are you using it like some student they print out, some student do it on a Word document? Which one are you?
What
How do you
document? What document? What document?
So what you can do is if you are doing Word document, you can send to me, but the homework you have to grade yourself. How we grade?
Yeah.
Every question, maximum 5 marks only you can deduct. After you've done, isn't it? Homework, your quiz. Homework normally get 100 marks on. I am a lazy person. I copy bulat-bulat, to be very honest with you. I'm a lazy person. I just copy only, copy only, is it? I don't even want to think about it. Only when I do the quiz, I start to, okay, I work hard on this one. I work hard on this. So I learn, memorize. I okay, quickly. Quickly, right? Yeah, okay, that's what you do. Then you can focus on the quiz. Then the quiz, homework, you have to grade yourself. Quiz also you have to grade yourself. Every question maximum, you can only deduct 5 marks. All right.
What do you mean by deduct 5 marks?
If you do already the quiz, I give you the answer key, you compare lor. Compare, you see, this one, 1 point missing. This one 2 point missing. If 1 point missing, minus 1 mark. 2 point missing, minus 2 mark. 3 point missing, minus 3 mark. If you didn't do that question at all, minus 5 marks.
Oh.
Don't say don't
Miss
do
fail
lah.
It's me fail lah.
You won't fail. We won't let you fail. Yeah, that is not our tradition. So you do that, the quiz, then you send to me your homework score, the quiz score. I'll ask my student to do a Google Sheet. You'll fill in the marks there on your own. I won't check the marks. I only grade your paper personally for your final paper. Final paper, you send to me, you scan. I will only mark your final paper personally and send to the ACI Dean, and you'll get your certificate within 1 month or within 3 weeks. Yeah.
When is the final paper?
Everything is in the Telegram. Yeah, I will resend or I will pin it later. I check whether did I pin it. I remember I got pin. And then you have to do your meditation. Your homework got meditation.
Yeah, I do. I do meditations.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the meditation.
Yeah, so I'll ask my student to create a worksheet. You just fill in, like I get 95 marks, 92 marks, 90 marks, something like that. You just fill in the marks only for the homework, for the quiz, and then for the meditation, which day I do the meditation. Like let's say I do meditation on 7th of March, then you write down 9 o'clock to 9:15 a.m., something like that. Or 9 o'clock to 9:30 a.m. Yeah. Okay or not?
Okay. So we just give you the score, all this lah.
Yes. Yes, you give me the score. Then the final one, when the course finish, you do the final, then you send to me. I will tell you how to send my student. We have a proper way of doing it because I used to coordinate for the teachers. So we have a proper system, how to name your file, how to send to me, so that then I will send it in a proper way to the ACI Dean so that when you look at it easily, they issue your cert easier than it will drag for, I don't know, months or years. if it's outstanding, not complete.
Yeah,
must
because
pass.
in the past, in the past, I didn't complete. I was thinking this time I better complete it.
This time must do properly. Yeah, I guarantee if you submit to me, I will make sure you get your cert within 1 month.
But if we
Yeah.
if we let's say, okay, because we have the answer. I was thinking it's some question we don't know. Okay.
I give you the answer already.
Okay, I must go and find out. Okay. Thanks.
Uh,
Thank you,
welcome.
Teacher Richard. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank
Thank
you. Any other questions? Or if you don't want the recording, just tell me. I tell them stop the recording. Yes.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, please.
Okay, may I know our pen story, is it 50-50 school?
Sorry again. Cannot
The
hear
pen
you.
story, our pen story by Geshe Michael, is it the 50-50% school using?
Well, Raymond, you ask very tough questions. Oh, okay. I was preparing this one and on Monday, if the student asks like that, no, I say, how should I answer? Is it? So I already prepared for that. And then I look at the school, the meaning and what they say, right? If we say the parts, let's say I look at the second school first. Okay, what we normally explain the pen, right? If we say there is a stick there, if I say there is a stick there, okay, and then the other 50% come from me, we use the 50-50 school. But I personally think that it can also go for the highest middle way if my understanding is higher in the sense that I believe the basis, the shape, the color, the size, right, the parts I put together and I label it as pen. I feel that it can be that way if you know, like if the student cannot take it like the basis is also coming from me, then it will go for the 50-50 to say that yes, the basis is there on their own. Then the other 50% come from me.
Does that mean when I think of there's the part in my mind, I name it, oh, it's a pen, and all that is a name, the pen, then all the things come out, like everything is in my mind. Like the parts and the name, they are all in our mind. I mean, just now you talk about there is a name, right? So that the pen also we name it. So we we have the name, so automatically we have all the parts that consist of this name.
Sometimes when we look at the thing, right, when we look at this thing, this one, we actually see certain parts only. We didn't
Color
actually
and
see
shape.
the whole thing. Yeah, we actually didn't see, we didn't see the behind. We sometimes we only see a little bit. I don't know, you can see it. Maybe I let you see only a little bit. You already say it's a pen. You have some clues. The reasonable basis. And then your mind say, put this together and say, this is a pen. Right.
Okay.
For the highest,
So,
middle way. Actually, we never really look at we never really say the part, this part, this part, this part. It's like you pick certain thing, you get some clues, then your mind already pen. It's so fast, everything happened so fast. Me and my pen. Yeah.
okay, another thing, for independent and implication school, are they also considered as Mahayana?
Yes, they are Mahayana. They are Mahayana.
Okay. Can you explain something about the functionalist school for my only school? Because my only school is very tricky in the sense of cause and effect, but it also linked to independent school and implication school. What?
My only school.
Yeah.
My only school is really very tough that they cover in greater detail in the later ACI. I think 15, if I'm not mistaken, or 14, somewhere there, they cover in very detail my only school. But one thing I can tell you for my only school is very useful. 我卡在那边很久 you know, last time you see. They say that it comes from the same seed. Me and what is happening right now, come from the same substance. I was like wondering, what is this talking about? The same substance you're talking about? So big deal, man. I was asking myself, you know. But what you can relate, help you in your life is to see that this seed, what is happening right now come from the same seed that set in motion long time ago. That set in motion long time ago. Long time ago, my only school, something happened. Let's say I do something bad to Raymond. Long time ago lah. Okay. And that seed already set in motion for me, for this thing to happen right now. So they come from the same seed. So it's very useful when we have mental affliction, the attack of mental affliction, to say that what is happening between us was something of the past, the seed set in motion long time ago. I did something bad to Raymond in the past, okay, maybe in the past life or whatever. That seed, that thing already set in motion long ago for this thing to happen right now. And they come from the same seed, the mind only school. That's one of the way for us to help us. You know, the mind only school is also in the 6th flavor of emptiness, on flavor number 3. Flavor number 3. If I'm not, yeah, flavor number 3, yes. They set in motion, things have been set in motion long before by our own action, even before you met the person. And they explain in greater detail on the kuntak and all these things in ACI 15, which I don't want to talk about that first. But you can use that thing very, very useful for the mind only school.
Okay, can I last thing?
Yeah.
Okay. When we learn correct view, normally we will not go down to the lower 3 realms. Right.
Yes, according to Sheila, if you understand the pen well enough,
Yes.
well enough means that you listen to that 3,000 times. By that time,
Okay.
you have like us, we start with DCI, we start with DCI. Then we say, oh, must not do bad thing. You want the thing, give what you want. Then we start off with that one, correct or not? Right? We all start with that. Then we see that, oh, because things are empty, and then we start to understand emptiness. Then if you understand it well enough, we won't do bad deeds. Somehow you keep your morality. Then we start to observe the 10 virtues, the 10 good virtues, right? We start to avoid the 10 non-virtues, the top 10 non-virtues, because of our understand emptiness, and that, I believe, protect us.
Okay, and then how to stop going to God realms instead of we just want to come back to human realm.
I also want to stop that. So I say, hey, do too good, then how I go there already? Then how? They say not good leh. You say do a lot of good things. Wow, suddenly, ayo, lottery, you reach there, then too good already. I also die lor. Then I enjoy all my good things. By the time I finish already, I drop to the lowest level. So according to them, I remember I read something I forgot already. I don't know whether I can recall or not. I know that one of the reasons why you are in the God realm is because of your meditation. It's because you have extremely good meditation, so deep meditation, without an object, without the proper object, without analyzing like us, we look at the emptiness, right? That's one of the things that will bring you to the being the higher pleasure being. Yeah, higher pleasure being can be in the form realm or in the desire realm, in the God realm. And there is another thing I forgot already. I think you do good things. I think there's a thing, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know whether there's another reason, but I can find out. Let me write down, because I also don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there, Richard. I thought God will we can enjoy. It got no affliction. You can no worries. Get happy go lucky. I thought it's Nirvana is good. I thought.
God realm.
I thought it's good. Right? No, yeah, like fairy tale already, man.
God realm is not. I remember I went to Lamrim, one of the Lamrim, And then they talk about a lot on the God realm, I was like so surprised. I never thought about God realm is not good, I always thought that, 不是
Yeah.
去 heaven 咩? From young, you
对
always
咯
say that, 要去上天，然后不要去地
，so
狱
it's
like that,
对
do
对
good
对
things,
对 ，yeah，
it looks like it's not good because if you go there, everything is so pleasant, so beautiful, and all you do the whole day is just enjoy. You won't think about practicing at all. But here in Desire Realm, all of us have enough happiness for us to sit down here and study and learn and practice. At the same time, we have some problem. There is something that we just don't like in our heart, Somebody just piss us off some way, and that really helped us to practice that. You can think of that as a person like an extremely rich kid, 很有钱的小孩子 born to be so rich, not all rich kid like that lah. I'm not saying every rich kid lah. I mean, born to be so rich that maybe the environment also never support him to study and just let him enjoy all his wealth. Then he will never think about Dharma. Oh, very good question, Jenny. Yeah. I also asked that question before also, I thought, Korean no teacher, meh? I thought you should have also teacher, isn't it? I don't know. But I feel that maybe there are teachers also should have, but maybe not many, lor. Maybe even got teacher, you don't want to learn, yet you are so happy, right? You wouldn't want to go and learn. So I try to think that way because I'm not in the realm. I really got no information on that. But I can only think about why they say it's not good, why no good, why we won't practice, why cannot be no teacher by logic, isn't it? Everything can happen, isn't it? Probably even got teacher, so you wouldn't want to learn.
yeah. You got no too contented,
You're so happy,
too
just enjoy
contented.
it.
Yeah.
吃完的 every day.
Yeah.
Teacher,
have
right?
one.
I got a
Yeah.
question. Okay, because you see, sometimes when I got nothing much to actually ask in my meditations, right? I always just like I say that I say this, okay. I say that I'm doing quiet sitting, but in the meditations, yeah, I'm actually doing quiet sitting, accompanying my teacher, you know or not? So is that also like just meditations, but never do much of the thinking, never really plants the seeds? But I did my 7 preliminaries when I actually do my quiet sitting down there in meditations.
Oh,
Because some
yeah.
they say
Actually,
that, right? We must
yeah.
actually keep ourselves really very quiet, right? Therefore, I actually do that part, So it's like quiet until I'm like quiet sitting, accompanying the teacher only. I didn't do very much things, So that one, is it okay to do?
I'm curious on your what is the realization, like what do you get from that? Like I can share my stories that I also have the same thing like you before. I did my 7, and then I sit with my teacher quietly, and then it's
Right.
like things that I don't understand. I ask, then the teacher explained to me. It's like we both sit down and we are having a session, 1-to-1 session, things like that, It's a very quiet session, sitting down. Then it's kind of like the mind talking that you can see the answered. So that is how my meditation. But for you, you say, I'm not sure what the process, how is the process like when you sit down quietly? So are you just like admiring the teacher, just admiring?
Admiring the teacher. No, I try to sit down quietly with
Yeah.
the really quiet mind, with the teacher.
Are you mindful of that, or you're just like downers? You have that downers die already.
No.
Just kidding.
I'm actually
you're still on mindful, clear. Then that should be fine, I think. Well, focusing on holy object, high karmic object is a good one. To me, I feel personally, I don't know about that, but I feel personally it's also a good thing because you plant a good seed. Surrounded with a high karmic object, why not? you know, sitting quietly with a high karmic object. I think that is okay. That
Okay,
is
okay. Thank you.
yeah. Yes, Jenny.
Can I ask, Jess, I think when you think of your teacher, could it be because we just came out of Dalam, that you can think of him as your Lama, so ask for blessings to act and think properly. Maybe that.
Yeah, correct. Because during the Lam, right, they actually says that invite the teacher already, then teacher sending the blessing, then you can actually sit quietly down there. So therefore, I find that wow, quite interesting, and then so easy to do.
It is a nice, very nice. Feel very comfortable, right? You feel just
Yeah.
very peaceful there.
Mm.
They say also try to maybe you can get some message from your teacher, like what Jenny said, we're learning the Lam. We did that, right? So maybe the teacher send you some message.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
But I think it's a good one. You're meditating on a high karmic object.
I'm actually enjoying myself. because just now you mentioned that when you are meditations, right, then you're just enjoying, you didn't do very much, then you comes into that God realms, you see. So now everyone didn't wants to be at that realms.
I remember there's a vow in the Bodhisattva vow, right? They mention about there's one vow that the the pleasant feeling is not we should avoid that. Not we do meditation not just because of pleasant feeling. Yeah. But of course, if you meditate, sure will feel pleasant. That is a side effect, but it's not the goal. Yeah, it's not the goal. It is the side effect. Yeah.
Okay, it's the results.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. But maybe you can, whatever you're doing perfectly fine. Just add on a little bit more. Maybe you can talk to your teacher and ask for blessing, like what Jenny said. I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Any more? Then we want to wrap up. I don't mind to stay, but I don't know whether is it WVP, our ACI support team. Maybe they need to use the line elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we can keep some of the question for next week. Yeah, if you have.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. Thank you,
Thank you.
teacher Rachel. Thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
teacher.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher
Bye.
Rachel. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Jensen.